Beseder, beseder. We'll start with prayer. Dear Lord God, we thank you so much for this opportunity to study the Hebrew language. We thank you for this Shabbat, Lord, and each person who has come. We just pray that you would quicken our minds, help us to teach and to learn, and to marvel at this beautiful language and the works that are done in it. And we ask your blessing upon the people of Israel, upon the land of Israel, Lord, for peace in Jerusalem and throughout the land. And we just pray in Yeshua's name. Amen. So let's start off on page 39 and 40, and we will casually breeze through this reading that we learned last week. And this will hopefully be edited out before we send it on the net. I don't do the editing, but we'll get it deleted. But first, before we do that, I will read it for the benefit of the recording. Starting on page 39 of Modern Hebrew by Harry Bloomberg and Mordecai Lewitz. And we are going to be turning off the recording so that our students won't have their early level, Dick and Jane level Hebrew reading skills for the whole world to see. But you should be studying and practicing reading too. Do like we do, labor with it, confront the Hebrew language, deal with it, and prevail. Shemuel ish chacham. Hu yoshev be'eretz Yisrael. Parsi ba el habayit shel Shemuel. Shalom, omer haparsi. Shalom, omer Shmuel. Ma ata rotze? Omer haparsi. Ani rotze lilmod ivrit. Tov, omer Shmuel. Ha'ish yoshev al yad hashulchan. Shmuel poteach sefer ve'omer Zot Aleph וזאת ב'. הפרסי אומר א' ב'. מה זאת? שואל שמואל. ב'. קורא הפרסי. לא, אומר שמואל, זאת א'. לא, זאת ב'. אומר הפרסי, שואל שמואל, מה זאת? א', אומר הפרסי, ב', אומר שמואל, לא, א', קורא הפרסי. שמואל רואה כי האיש רוצה לצחק בו. הוא מכה את הפרסי על האוזן. אוי, האוזן שלי, האוזן שלי, קורא הפרסי. אין זאת אוזן, אומר שמואל, זאת יד. מה אתה אומר? קורא הפרסי. כל איש יודע כי זאת אוזן. כן, אומר שמואל, וכל איש יודע כי זאת א' וזאת ב'. Back to page 39. Okay, Cheryl, can you read the first couple lines, please? Toda, toda. So today we're going to look at the grammar that starts on page 41. And we'll start by saying that we have regular verbs like lomed. If we start in the masculine singular and the feminine singular, masculine plural, and the feminine plural, it'd go lomed, לומדת, לומדים, כן. לומדות. Okay. So what if we have a word like kore? It's not going to go kore, kore. We're not going to have these two vowels here like this. Kore, yes. Kuf, kore. This aleph historically is a glottal stop. Like if we say the name Leah, you can put a glottal stop in there and go Leah. And ba'a, the feminine for comes, you can put a nice little glottal stop in there and say ba'a, Leah, ba'a. But on the streets of Tel Aviv, people are too rushed to do that. They just say Leah, ba'a. But historically, it's a glottal stop, which is a consonant, weird but true. A glottal stop is a consonant. And you can vocalize it, and it becomes kind of like ah. The word for I, it starts with a letter, it's called ayin, and it goes ayin. It's the glottal stop where you're trying to force air through and trying to stop it at the same time. Ayin. It's a nice Semitic sound, which some Israelis use, but it's also in Arabic, and in Arabic it's not optional. If you're not going you're not speaking Arabic. You're trying, but you're not succeeding. So, when we get to the feminine singular, because we have this guttural third consonant, it goes, whoops, yeah. Correct. Did I spell it right? No. Correct. And what we're doing here, we're totally ignoring this aleph. If it's a consonant, it should have some sort of a vowel, or showing that there's a lack of a vowel. Maybe a shavah to show that there's no vowel. But we totally ignore it. We call it quiescent. I've been looking forward to saying that word all day. Korim. Korot. The rest of the forms are well behaved. This is the only one that has any strangeness to it.
Is there any other letters that go quiescent?
No. Mm-hmm. Oh. No. Thank you. Toda. Okay. Does everybody have this? No. Okay. So I will.
What's darkish that's under the R? The resh?
right here.
Yeah. There's no vowel here.
Mm.
Well, there's a vowel stop in the R. Yeah, but
I'm. You've convinced me. We need a shavah there too. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So we have traditions when it comes to Hebrew grammar, and we use patterns, which, like here, this is a pattern. The O and the E, and O and the E and the E, and then in a tav. Okay, those are patterns. I'd like to erase this. Please allow me. I need the board. I'd like to have about a 20-foot long board. I could just work my way across it. That'd be nice. But we've got these patterns. The regular pattern for a kal verb is Whoops. Okay, that's the same thing I wrote for lomed, lomedit, lomdim, lomdot, except no letters. I left off all of the core letters that make the word, the radicals. Okay, the skeleton of the word is built upon is called the radical. In that case, it would be lamed, mem, dalet. And most Hebrew verbs will have three of these. There is a word to work, which is pe, ayin, lamed. Pa'al is to work. And it also happens to be the noun that means verb. Actually, it would be poalim. Poel is a verb, okay? But it's from the word to work, because the verbs are working words, sort of. So anyway, we take this word right here, and we plug it into all kinds of different patterns, and we call different conjugations the names that they are called because we're plugging this word into them. Like we have 7 different conjugations in Hebrew. We have the pa'al, which we also call it the kal, the nifal, the piel, the pual, the hifil, the hufal, and the hitpa'el. And every one of those is built on pe, ayin, and lamed. So this is our template, okay? So if we're going to talk about the third letter in a verb, well, that's the lamed letter. It's in the lamed position. And in the case of kore, our third letter was aleph, right? So that is the type of verb it is a lamed aleph verb. I went to the Hebrew class and they started throwing these terms around. They talked about peyud valves. A peyud valve is a verb that starts off with a yud. Or they might talk about an ayin vav. An ayin vav would be a verb that has a yud, or I mean ayin, no, a vav in the middle of the 3 radicals. An ayin vav would have a vav there. Or a lamed aleph, lamed hey. Remember the verb to see? Ro'eh. Ro'eh. Okay. So see this last radical? It's a hey. So in this position, we have a hey. There's a lamed hey. So people start throwing around terms like lamed hey. You'll at least have heard it before. Okay. Now the one in the middle, the ayin, is a guttural, and sometimes it fouls up. The guttural fouls things up. Like there are verbs that you're supposed to put a dot in the middle radical, like medaber, and you can't put a dot in a guttural. It won't take a doubling dagesh. So people that are not traditional, people who are logical linguists say, let's not even use pa'al. I don't know how many hundreds of years they've been using it. The Arabs use it too, but they call it fa'al because they don't have a P sound. They can't go p. You try and get them to say petach tikva, and it comes out beit hatikva. There's a whole movie about that. They got on the wrong bus. So anyway, it's called the band's visit. Okay, so anyway, these non-traditional logical linguists, biblical Hebrew linguists say, well, let's not even use pa'al. Let's use katal. This tav here, this tet here is very well behaved. It takes a doubling dagesh. This verb is so normal. We'll use it. We'll use it in all the conjugations. We'll do everything to it that you can do to any verb. But it's a very rare verb. The only place I've ever seen it is in books. To kill. If you want to use katal, you can study this book right here by Silong Xiao. I think he's from Hong Kong. He teaches at Princeton. He wrote the book. Pretty smart guy. Yes, yes. I learned a lot from Dr. Siao. Okay. How are we doing? Are you still with me? Okay, good. Okay, so I don't use, pardon me? Okay, so I don't use katal for a pattern unless I'm in a biblical Hebrew class. And if I'm in a biblical Hebrew class, they use different orders in the verbs too. They don't start with I, you, he, and she. So their shelves are arranged differently. So the Hebrew teacher at SPU and I have our shelves arranged differently. But when we want to get a you or a he, we might get them from different places, but we get the same word. They said, what if I get out the book after class, okay? Because I don't remember. I haven't been in that class in a long time. But it's arranged in a logical manner in a way. There is a logic to it. They're grouping similar words together. Instead of going I, you, he, she, which is one form of logic. They're saying, you know, we're just going to put the words that are similar together. Yes?
Speaking of logic or illogical, ma'at is feminine, ma'ata is, why is it ata masculine when it should be feminine?
Mm-hmm. Yes, 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 yes.
Good answer.
There is a kind of a crisscrossing of the hey ending, could let's say, okay, let's say, ta gadol, you are big. At gadola. You, feminine, are big or tall, okay? Here we have this hey as a masculine ending, and here we have this hey as a feminine ending. It's a crisscross. And here we have the lack of an ending. Here we have the lack of an ending for balance. I just made that up. I don't know why, but it does it. And there's always a student that points it out, if the teacher hasn't. Okay? Yeah. I used to just say I don't know, but now I just make up answers. No, but actually the crisscross effect, I've seen that shown by teachers before, because it's one of the weirdnesses of Hebrew. Hebrew is weird and wonderful.
So it helps to be just a little weird.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
That it serves the same function as the final letters do. Because, you know, if you're saying something, it's more, to them, it's more easily understood. If you say at gdola, than if you say at gdol. It's easier to pronounce.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
because you're going on to the next word. There's an effect that starts from the ultimate syllable and goes backwards, and it actually changes the way things are done, and it goes up
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
antiphon.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I was telling Bernie, there is a symmetry to it. You know, when you're first starting out, you go, why can't they make up their mind if the hey suffix is masculine or feminine? But after you get used to it, you don't worry about it anymore. It makes perfect sense. To me, I'm perfectly at home with it. I'm fine with it. But I do understand the question. Okay, so let's look at another verb. It goes medaber, masculine singular, feminine singular. Medaber. Medaberet. Medabrim. Medabrot. Medaber, medaberet, medabrim, medabrot. Can you say it with me? Medaber, medaberet, medabrim, medabrot. Okay, so the things that make up the skeleton of this is Dalet, Bet, Resh. This middle one is always going to take a dot, unless it's an ayin or something. If it's one of the gutturals, you can't put a dot in it. But the pattern for the masculine singular is mem, with a patach under the first, a shava under the second one, a dot in the second one, and the third one. That's the masculine. And you can use other words. You can take the verb to learn, lamed mem dalet, me la med is to teach. Lomed is learn. Melamed, like medaber, melamed is teach. You could take shavar and do it like lomed. Shover, shoveret, shovrim, shovrot is to break. Mishaber, mishaberet, mishabrim, mishabrot is to shatter. Okay? You see the difference between break and shatter? Shatter is more intensive. And the difference between learn and teach? Teach, I would suggest to you, is more intensive. Yes. I'm working harder than you guys, maybe. Let's pretend that I am, okay? So in the book it says that, yeah, in the book it says medaber is an intensive form of verb, okay? This whole conjugation, we got lamed mem dalet would be melamed, melamedet, melamdim, melamdot. Help me, Lord. See, it happens to me too. Melamdot. Let's see. We've had a couple more of these. Like, what if we have a samich, a pe, and a resh? We said medaber. What will this become? Misaper. Medaber, misaper. That is a sign of the conjugation. In the present tense of this intensive conjugation, which is called the PL. See, in the past, it goes E. It's like medaber becomes D-bear. Misaper becomes C-pair. So that conjugation, we plug this into it, and it becomes PL. That's what we call the conjugation, PL. It's intensive a lot of the time. So anyway, in the present tense, it's always going to start with a mem with a shava under it, and it's always going to have a dot in the middle letter unless it's a guttural. Okay? Siper is to tell. Siper is to tell a story. Misaper, misaperet. Misaper, say it. Misaper, misaperet, misaprim, misaprot. Why was I pointing at that? Let's try it again. Misaper, misaperet, misaprim, misaprot. Okay, one more. We did melamed. Okay, I think that's enough. How about? Okay, yeah. Let's do this one. Let's. this is going to have a dot in it, right? Middle one has a dot in it. These are all letters. Yeah, we're taking them out. We're gonna have to supply them. Okay, so let's do it with Shin, a Bet, and a Resh. Okay? We said to speak was medaber. So this is going to be mishaper. Mishaber, sorry. Mishaber. To break. Or to shatter. And we said medaberet. This becomes meshaberet. And we knew about medabrim. What about meshabrim? We shatter, they shatter. In the feminine plural, meshabrot. Meshabrot. Yay, yay. Okay. We are really taking on Hebrew. We're rolling up our sleeves, getting dirty, learning the Hebrew language. Baruch Hashem. Yeah. We've been at it for something like 33 weeks. Yeah. It's happening. Okay, so I've got a song, and it's called Hine Ma Tov. Some of you might know it, but let's look at it a little deeper because we can understand the words in it now, I hope. We'll look at it. It's under that chair right there. Toda rabah. Okay. I hope we have enough. Ulai. Take one, pass it down. Toda. Psalm 133:1 says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." Hine means behold. Oh, Matreja, yeah. It's got a stickum on it. Does everybody have one? So, short, simple song. Hine means behold. If you want to say, here I am, like if I'm looking for somebody to carry the blackboard upstairs, the whiteboard upstairs, and you say, here, I'll do it. Hine ni. Hine ni. That's what Samuel said when he thought Eli was calling him. And when he learned that God was calling him, Hine ni. Let's see. Isaiah said it in Isaiah 6 when God said, whom will we send and who will go for us? Hineni, shlacheni, here I am, send me. Hine means behold. Ma, what? Normally, but this is biblical Hebrew, so we're going to say how good. Sorry, words are a little bit more flexible in biblical Hebrew. Hine ma tov. Behold how good. Uma, and how pleasant. Na'im. Na'im. Can you say na'im? Okay. If you were all Arabic speaking people, you wouldn't say na'im, you would say na'im. Na'im. You're trying to close the vocal passage and trying to force air through it at the same time. And you get an ah. That's the ayin. Na'im. But we're not Arabic speakers. Shevet. Shevet is, lashevet is to sit or to dwell. Ani yoshev. I sit. This is Yud, Shin, Vet. So that's a pei Yud.
That car, it's a Chevette Roulette.
Shevet?
A Chevette Roulette.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because
Oh, it could be. And it rolls, too. And rolle is like to roll, right? Isn't rolle to roll? In some language. Yeah. I was in Jerusalem with Ron Cantrell. Some of you know who Ron and Carol Cantrell are. I was in Jerusalem, and we were on the Hebron Road. And Ron said, this is the old road, the Hebron Road. And when it's the old road in Jerusalem, it's old. And he said, oh, that little car in front of us, that is a Russian car. It's a Lada. And I was looking at it because I wanted to see what the model was. And with my rusty Russian, I went, oh, the model. It was a little tiny car. It was a Sputnik. Yeah. Okay. So the last line here, shevet, is like la shevet, to sit or to dwell. And then the word for brother is ach. Can you say ach? Ach. Yeah. In German, there's an expression, ach du lieber. It just means, oh, man, oh. You know, they're being kind of less than straight. They're saying, oh, you dear one. But they're kind of saying, oh, you know, what am I going to do with you? What am I going to do with you? Ach du lieber. So ach means brother. Achot. Achot is sister.
and sisters.
Achayot. Achot already sounds like, you know, to the uninitiated, you go, oh, that's a plural. It ends in ot. But no. Can't do that. Okay. So the last line, shevet achim. Ach means brother. Achim, brothers. Okay, say achim. Gam. Remember gam? It meant also, right? But not necessarily in this case. It doesn't work here. I don't know what it is here.
It intensifies the meaning.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they're in the translation. They're saying it together. They're saying it twice, together in unity. They're intensifying it by repeating it a different way. So I accept that. I like that. Gam intensifies it. And then yachad is together. You know, like it's a form of the word one. There's echad and there's yachid. Yachid is another way of saying one. But it's an indivisible one. There's a little nuance to it. Yes? Yeah, yes. Yeah, unity, oneness, in oneness. Yeah. Okay, so repeat the first three words. Hine matov, uma naim. Now take a deep breath and say, Hine matov uma naim. Shevet achim, gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov uma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov uma naim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov. La 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 la. Hine matov. La 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 la. Okay. Well, I've got this the music to it, but it's really kind of shapeless and amorphous. So we'll play it later in a few minutes. Let's see. So we said if we're taking lamed aleph verbs like kore, verbs where the last radical is aleph. Lamed aleph verbs. Another one would be noseh. Noseh is lift up. I lift up. Noseh, lift up. Noset. We have a quiescent aleph. I get to say it again. Noset. Nosim. Nosot. Okay.
Just tell me the difference between, Ani Nosea de Yerushalayim, or, this one, Nosea.
Okay. Ani Nosea Yerushalayim is with a samich, I believe.
Okay,
Nosea.
all right.
I'd have to look it up to tell you all of the differences, but I think that's with a samich. So anyway, this right here, to lift up, this is in the Ten Commandments. When it says, do not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, they're not saying don't take it. They're saying don't carry it. Don't carry the Lord's name with no meaning, in emptiness. Don't carry the Lord's name in emptiness. Al tisa et Shem Adonai leshav. Which puts it a little different light on it, doesn't it? Okay. So, let's say noseh, noset, nosim, nosot. Yafé, yafé.
No Shema?
Take the name in vain.
Here? What would I do without you?
I know we're the Shema sisters.
Yes.
To not take the name of the Lord in vain is also to live in a manner that does not shame you.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, I take it to mean if you're claiming to represent the Lord, don't shame him. Yeah. Now, the rabbis at the time of the Talmud sat and discussed. They said, okay, what is in vain mean anyway? Let's say if we're praying. If I pray for Bernie to be whole and well, is that in vain? No. But if I pray to have a Rolls Royce and $1 million, is that in vain? Yes. Okay, so there's a continuum. Where does it become, stop being real and start becoming in vain? Where is the line? And after months and months, they said, you know what? We don't know. So we're not going to use the name of the Lord. We're going to build a fence around this pit so people don't fall in it, because we don't know what the boundaries are.
Isn't that what the Holy Spirit is for?
Yeah.
Jews do
Yeah.
believe in
Well,
the Holy Spirit,
yeah.
don't they?
I don't know. I've opened up this massive theological question, and it's more than we're prepared to deal with in this class. Yeah. Okay, there's a meetup a week from tomorrow on Martin Luther King Avenue at Bananas Grill. I think it's 4556 Martin Luther King Way South. It starts at noon, day after, a week from tomorrow. And I go to every one of these that I possibly can. I have fully expect to be at this one. And people from all levels are welcome. There was a woman that was in the class a few weeks ago. sat in the back. And I was hoping she'd be here today. I've only met her twice, but she's kind of at the same level you guys are. But she's brave and she's bold, and she went to the Hebrew meetup and she met with me and came to the class. And if she weren't so busy, I'm sure she'd be here today, Amanda. But anyway, be brave and bold and come to the Hebrew meetup if you can, and have some lentil soup with us. Okay? I'll give you the accurate address in the little mail or in the email that I send you, okay? So anyway, 2 weeks from today, February 6th, there's a meeting in this, a congregational meeting in this room at 3 o'clock. And instead of trying to move the class up from 1:45 to 2:45 and trying to dash out while they're trying to set up, let's just not have class that week. We'll take a week off, February 6th. Come to the congregational meeting instead. No. Too late. We'll skip a week. Laura's got this burning desire to master the Hebrew language. I know the feeling. Yeah. You come and I'll work with you individually, okay? I'll work, Laura, for at 2 o'clock, I'll work with you for half an hour, okay? Okay? Meet over in the other building. Yeah, during the ONEG. We'll just go grab a classroom. They have a little conference room. Yeah, I'll drill you. Oh, yeah? Oh, the Mayan book? Mm-hmm. Okay, for next week, do faithfully. Pages 42 and 43, exercises 2 through 5. Bevakasha. Okay? Here, no, it's not. No, it isn't. Okay, so let's see if we can get their amorphous, shapeless Hine Matov going here. Ken. Okay. You can sing along here. Did you want it? You probably already have it. Ulai. A person could do modern dance to this. I don't know. Mishahi. Mishahi. He asked, who is it? The answer is Mishahi, somebody. Somebody female. But it's spelled like this. No, I don't think it is. Mishahi. It's all one word. Mishahi. And then there's another one, Mishahu, if it was a guy. Mishahu. Somebody. Whoever it is. Whoever it is. That's a good translation. Mishahu. Mishahi. Chim gam yachad. Hine ma tov. Hine ma tov. La la la. La 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 la. Hine ma tov. Hine ma. We could form a choir and do this. Echshahu. Ech means how. Echshahu. Somehow. Efoshahu. Somewhere. Efoshahu. Efo is where. Modern Hebrew is very forgiving. They do a lot of stuff. Mishahu. Echshahu. Somehow. Ech means how. Echshahu. Umanai shevet achim gam yachad hine ma tov umanai shevet achim gam yachad hine ma tov la 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 tov hine ma la 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 la. Remember to do your homework. We taught Hebrew for years, and we stayed in the same place in the book for years until the day I said, I wonder if people would mind if I assigned homework, and checked it and gave it back to them. And the day I assigned homework, they said, sure, we'd be glad to do homework. And we started doing homework. And lo and behold, people started to progress. People learned Hebrew. People made Aliyah and became Israeli citizens and joined the Israeli army. Yeah, homework is good. You can learn the language.